Valentining and rocking and rolling here at the Great Northern Sex Cast. Do you have any Valentine's plans?
My guy's going to cook me dinner.
Sweet.
He's
a really good cook, isn't he?
That's what he is. Yeah, he's a pretty decent cook.
Cool.
But I generally do most of the cooking. It's over at my place. But on Valentine's, he comes over and he cooks.
Nice.
And so
one thing I'm surprised not to see in here, because it's almost a constant sight at Fantasy Gifts headquarters where your office is. I don't see flowers. He always brings you flowers.
We don't bother with it on Valentine's Day.
That's hilarious.
The price,
so it's like you get a buy. Is it your buy?
Yeah, it's too. They just get too pricey. It's no.
Oh, I
Dude,
see.
The frugality in both of us sort of says, not necessary.
For sure. That's funny. You guys have like doctorates in practical, both of you.
To some extent,
cracks me up. So this is kind of funny. The mattress companies did a survey about how you sleep can reveal how often and how well you have sex. Okay. And the gist of it all is, this is Mattress Advisor was the company. The thing that makes me laugh about this is spooning is considered the top most uncomfortable position to sleep in. And women hated being the outside spoon more than they hated being the inside spoon, but they didn't like either one, which cracks me up because that's one I don't mind. I like that one.
My arm falls asleep and it's too damned hot.
You get too hot.
It's it has its times, but as an all evening sort of concept.
Yeah.
No, that would drive me insane.
The gist of this whole thing is that people who sleep somehow touching, doesn't even really matter how, are more likely to have sex more often and better sex. Which makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So have you heard of the show Love After Lockup?
No.
So it's about people that, are in prison and come out. Either they meet their mates while they're in prison and that start up relationships, and then what happens when they get out. Okay. And this 26-year-old girl named Jonna was really upset because her felon lover didn't propose a whole month after he got out of prison, and he didn't show up. He went out and got fucked up with his friends on her birthday and didn't show up. I mean, how unexpected that you start up with a guy who's in jail for a felony and he's what? Unreliable? Really? Oh my goodness. Please don't reproduce the two of you. Please. Because the blend of, rotten and stupid is more than I can stomach at this point.
And you sort of wonder how many I must still be done by like letters or pen pal or something like that. I mean, how many, isn't the cliche that a lot of folks, will have like multiple people sending them stuff and writing letters? And it's a whole,
That's a great way to entertain yourself.
Whole racket.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they often bilk people for commissary money and whatever.
I mean, the prison system is hideous in this country, and there's way too many people in it, and it's going through there. So I mean, but you really learn how to be a much better criminal in prison.
Oh God, yes.
Oh my God. And then
I hate to say, but I've been interested in two different prison dramas or stories, really. I mean, Orange is the New Black started out hilarious and I think got preposterously stupid, so I don't really care about that one anymore. But there's one that takes place in Australia called Wentworth. And that is a really interesting show.
Is it on Netflix or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look.
It's I don't know if you would like it.
I've been when one is at home dying from the flu, and I say that knowing that people have actually died, and that's probably inappropriate. But when you're sick as hell from the flu, and all you can do is stream stuff, I have managed to go through the Father Brown mysteries.
Are those good?
Yeah, and it's set 50s England. It's hilarious.
Okay,
and then I was flipping through, and I found something called the Dr. Blake mysteries, which is an Australian
is that
thing,
fun?
which is also set in the late 1950s, but in
cool.
Australia. And so just the type of through. And then I found the hokiest thing yet. It's like When Something Calls. It's a Canadian thing. It's got Lori Loughlin in it. It's about a teacher, because it's originally on the Hallmark Channel, so you can say how cheesy it is.
Okay.
It's about a teacher in like 1910, Canada, that goes farther west to this mining village, and then she starts flirting with a Mountie.
Oh.
And he's a good-looking guy, and then, so I had to look him up, and he's Canadian. So I'm telling you, I'm thinking that Netflix and Hallmark and all these little channels, it's just been a bonanza there was a Wyoming sheriff thing too that I watched, and he was an Australian actor. It's like a bonanza for Australian actors.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, Netflix, I can't imagine how network television's surviving right now. I don't watch, any regular network television. Carl will occasionally watch the local news, which I don't even bother with. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, I even watch, like the 2 or 3 network television shows I watch online sometime that week. It's not during the time that it's on.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get to the network channels on my TV with the systems that I have. I have to think about it every time. It's been so long.
That's funny.
Okay, where were we? Sorry.
I'm fine.
I got totally distracted.
I don't know about you, but I get extremely surly when I have any issues with my flights.
Okay.
Like, I do not like to be delayed or in any way inconvenienced. And but if it has to happen, this was Alaska Air from Anchorage to Seattle, and a guy went in the bathroom, stripped naked, and refused to come out. Passengers say that they knew something was wrong when they saw flight attendants pacing and putting on rubber gloves. They finally... Because you never know. You might slip and land in an orifice. God. I know. Okay, I'll go ahead.
I just need a moment.
I know. I can tell. Rubber gloves. Yeah. I would have gotten a face mask too. Because you don't know. You do not know.
I'm actually surprised they didn't ask if there was like a doctor on board or anyone with law enforcement training or something like that.
Well, they just turned that plane around. And this fellow was met by police and FBI. And basically, they're not sure if he's going to be charged because they don't really have him on like terrorist or anything like that. It's more failure to follow flight attendant instructions. And the lady that was interviewed for the article was pretty... she was pretty calm and cool about it. She's like, well, safety first. I'd rather go back than have something happen. But they think he was having a little mental episode. So naked dude locked in bathroom.
Honestly, it's no different. They would have turned the plane around if someone was going into a diabetic fit, or if someone else, it's medical. He's going through there, but you can't. But when you get to the naked part.
I lose it every time.
It's going through there.
Okay, so a topless model told cops her name was Adolf Hitler as they arrested her over a fight in a restaurant with her fiance, and she had also threatened to jump off a balcony. Let's just let all that sink in for a second.
Wow, where do you come up with
Adolf Hitler? Unclear.
Well, obviously that name's been in the news a lot in the past 18 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was going through there, but I'm not saying that I haven't had a drink in my life, but I just find it weird that you can get to that point.
If I were hammered, which happens occasionally, and thankfully I'm not usually in trouble because I'm usually, being border collied by someone else or I'm at home, I don't think Hitler would be who I would try to emulate.
Honestly, I probably wouldn't even remember my name before, or there wouldn't be any stuff like that. Or
I'd pick somebody like Cleopatra. Like, I'm not going to go for I
want to be like Sandra Bullock or something. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that'd be pretty great. She's a beautiful girl. So yeah, she's just an idiot. She has a long storied history of drunken disorderly stuff. Okay, so this is funny. A guy. Goes out with his buddies, gets hammered, and steals a 4-foot statue, so not small, okay, of the Virgin Mary.
In Florida?
No, unfortunately, this was in the UK.
That sounds so Florida-y.
I know.
I wonder if the UK has a Florida.
I'm beginning to think the whole UK is Florida.
Okay.
With the shit that
Yeah,
goes
because
on
it's
over there.
mm-hmm.
It's a lot more interesting than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So he kypes this statue, puts it in his father's garden, and his father is like, "Oh my God, there's a Virgin Mary statue. How did this get here?" And the dad goes on this major quest. He calls the cops. He's calling churches. The newspaper comes and takes a picture because he's trying to get it back to where it belongs. Well, this guy finally 6 years later confesses to his dad that it was him.
Yeah.
after it was returned.
It was returned, so someone did claim. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't want an unclaimed Virgin Mary. That would be bad.
No, but I mean, that is so funny. I mean,
did he check like local mangers?
I know. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. You kind of get to a point where it's like, maybe I just should never really drop that bomb.
Yeah. I mean, it took me close to 15 years before I told my parents that 2 weeks after I got my license, I stuck the car in a snowbank.
Oh.
But the car was fine. I was fine. There was no point.
Yeah.
The rest, I was on my way to work. It was like 4:00 in the morning. The rest of the cooks and the dishwashers and managers went and dug it out. And I finished opening up the line and getting it all ready. Because I got a ride from the gal that was behind me on the Cloverleaf. It used to be Highway 12. I had to crawl out the back window because I was so buried deep in the snowbank I couldn't get the car doors open.
But it didn't dent it or anything?
No, it was a very, and it snowed a lot. It was a very fresh
lucky you
thing, and I did really good. I got into 2 fishtails, but the third one put me in the snowbank.
God, well, that's
Yeah,
and
I'm like, nope. I just told.
I'd wait on that one.
Yeah, I said, oh, by the way, because we were talking about stuff. I know I was over 30.
Oh, good for you.
There was no point. They're like, yeah. That seems reasonable. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, okay, I don't know why I feel like I want to tell this, but right as we speak, and today could actually be the day. So my sister is traveling. She and her husband are both retired, and they're on this month-long trip with a bunch of his siblings. They're having a ride. I'm getting all of these pictures of them in various bar scenarios, and good for them. And they're going to be in California. I think they should be there today or tomorrow. And my so there's 3 kids in my family. My sister's the oldest, and I'm the youngest. My brother's in the middle. We've been trying to get my brother to move here for years, and he's had a couple false starts. So while she's been gone, something occurred in my brother's life. Last week, he quit his job, and he's going to be here by the end of the month, and he's going to be staying with her. Here's the hilarious thing. She doesn't know yet, okay? And so she's supposed to see him in California tomorrow. Well, in the middle of all this, his company's like, you know what, we can't lose you, so we're going to let you work remotely. So my brother's able to make this move that we've all been wanting and keep his job, right? So this is like some of the best news ever. So he calls me last night, and I'm the one with the big mouth, okay? And I haven't said a word, and I've talked to her a bunch of times. And he's like, well, if she asks me what's new, I just feel like I need to tell. I'm like, if you blow it now, you have to wait until you're sitting in front of her.
It's more fun. Yeah. I mean,
to tell her. Well, but wouldn't I be lying? And I'm like, dude, come on. But yeah, so today or tomorrow, she's going to see my brother. He's going to go, by the way.
Guess what?
I know. How cool is that? Sorry.
You're going to have a new roommate.
For a while. Yeah, until he finds a place. Did you see the movie The Shape of Water?
No.
Okay, there's a sex toy based on it now.
From what I understand, it was everyone who's seen it has just they've loved it. It's for the folks that like. Is it Benicio del Toro?
I'm not sure.
No, I'm getting no. That's an actor. See, it's somebody else. But I know he just had an art thingy here at the MIA and stuff like that. It's gonna drive me. I'll look it up. And folks are listening or cringing, and I apologize. Sorry.
No, it's fine. So the movie, if you don't know it, it's about this woman and an amphibian man that strike up a sexual relationship, basically, and that's very, very, very distilled down. But it's kind of this whole idea of this fantasy and kind of pushing boundaries and everything else. So they've made this sex toy, and it's called. Do you know Xenocat Artifacts? Okay, so it's a sex toy that has colors matching the striped markings, and it's got gill-like ribs. And they said it's just bizarre. It's glow in the dark, and all of that sort of thing.
Is that an Australian company? I'm absolutely, because there's an Australian company that does a lot of stuff, but because of copyright and different rules, a lot of stuff, it can't be sold, here in the U.S.
Yeah.
I'm sure that if you wanted to pay for shipping and try and get it through customs, that would be fine. But,
well, it's coming. It's going to be released in the run up to the Oscars on the 4th. So about $50 they're going to be for the small one, $70 for the large, and over $90 for any custom versions of it.
I can see that. People like fantasy. I mean, that's one of the reasons we sell so many. We got a new line of, I'm blanking on it, but I think it's from Blush Toys. They are multicolored, horizontally striped silicone dildos, and they're just stunning.
Really?
They're just stunning. They're vaguely penis shaped, but not. And they've got nice bases, so they'd be great in a rodeo underwear harness or another one. But they're just so pretty and so colorful. And I'm like, oh. My mom looked at them and didn't like them at all. But just going through there.
It's so funny what appeals to people.
But she does. She's not a big color person. So that's probably why. But I just thought they were gorgeous, and I hope they do well. Because
what are they? What's the line? What are they called?
I'm blanking on the name. I'll try and get a link on there. But I think the main company that they come from is Blush, okay. But they might have a sub. Brand, underneath of it. Okay. But they're out in all the stores, and they're just stunning.
Okay, sweet. I know your boyfriend does not have a cell phone.
No.
But you do, and I know that you text. And are you an emoji person?
Not really.
Okay.
I rarely use them.
Okay.
Unless the other day, my daughter had had made a list of things for her to do, and I'd send her a text. And then later on, I said, "You still have refer to list," and I put the little finger pointing up. It is. I haven't used an emoji in a very. That's about how I use them.
Okay. Well, research reveals that 29% of daters think that the wink emoji is cheesy and off-putting. The kissing and heart-eyed graphics were the runners-up, saying ick. Others that were considered to be turnoffs included the poop, the smirk, the muscle flex, and lips. But all these people that said, yeah, those I don't really like them, they all admit to using them. So what's up? I love the poop emoji. My friend and I use it in conversations quite often, and it is what it is, and it just says something that in so few without words.
Yeah. I generally haven't used it too much. A lot of times I can't figure out how to get them on the text. Some places it's easier for me than others, and you see all this stuff like is it GIF or GIF, whatever it is, GIF. Whatever, yeah. I'm like. I occasionally figure out how to use one of those. I'm just trying to get my point across, and it's an extra bit.
For sure. Well, and I think this is kind of good advice. It's kind of like the same rules of body language. If you're trying to win somebody over, you kind of mirror them. They're like, if you're communicating with somebody, watch their use and kind of go, use sparingly if they do, et cetera, et cetera. And you can go a little more crazy if they're into it. Right on. So, why is this funny? It just is. And this is courtesy of our friends, the Japanese. So, we've talked about all these lately. Anal bleaching, penis whitening, and vagina lifts. They've all come up in conversation. But now there's a new measuring trend in Japan where they use toilet paper tube rolls. And to me, this is very low tech. They jam their junk into a toilet paper roll, and if nothing comes out the other side, you're considered not big. And if something does, nicely done you. But why are we even talking about this?
Why would you share if you?
Why would you admit it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And cardboard cuts could be bad. I don't understand. It's.
Okay,
it's a hole, and I guess the guys put their penis in it. I mean, I'm overthinking it. It's a hole. You stick your dick in it. Yeah. Well, I started overthinking. I'm gonna rein it in.
Yep. Yeah. So you'll have to look at this on the Facebook page. There's some license plates that made it through the UK's DMV that are considered to be obscene. So they're like variations of, one of them spells out tits and things like that. Actually, cunt made it. But it's CUII. and then NNT. And then B for IFKU, PEN, and then 15, which is penis.
Oh, yeah.
So these made it through. But it's not the fact that they made it through. It's that once they did, people are selling them for outrageous amounts of money. One went for €6,000. So that's over 7,000.
Now, do you get to use it, or they just want the plate?
They just want the plates. Like, I could spend $7,000 on a piece of really fucking amazing art. It doesn't have to be, this made it through the DMV. Who does that?
I am boggled by this concept. I mean, I'm sure you could get a metal worker to make you one for a lot less. I am very confused.
Oh, but it wouldn't be the real thing. The stuff that people, it's like the people that collect shit and they never take it out of the boxes.
I mean,
you know how that works?
Honestly, I have more Waterford crystal, and I don't even drink booze. But the name of the pattern was Colleen, and it was a short version. So if you think I was passing up short Colleen crystal, you're out of your mind. So, and plus
Is it pretty? Do you love it?
It's fucking gorgeous. I never use it, but I use my china, but I never use the crystal. So I mean, but I could use it. I mean, I do use the other stuff, and when friends come over, I pull it. I just don't drink wine. Most of it's wine glass, stuff like that. But
You serve wine though.
Yeah, so 6,000.
Use the crystal.
Yeah, I do when they come over. €6,000 for a plate that spells
like you
out.
said, somebody could make. Oh, I mean, quite honestly, I just go one that I just go.
I mean,
have one made that
honestly,
said actual-
why, at that point, why doesn't the license plate people just open up a shop and print shit out
and donate it to charity or to offset the deficit or whatever?
Yeah, put it towards drunk driving programs or something.
Yeah. Improving conditions for, whatever.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better bus shelters for folks or train. I don't know.
Anything.
Just, yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Okay, this is funny. The most idiotic things ever said during sex. There's some pretty good ones in here. If I do think
Well,
so.
it better be better than like your ex's name or something like that, or your parents' names or something.
The baby's been staring at us for 5 minutes.
I told you that they don't have to worry about Paddington. They've already seen it.
For fuck's sake, the dog's licking my ass. I've changed my mind. I don't think I should be with you. Wow, really? In the middle of sex?
Well, yeah. At least it was then. I mean,
Colleen.
Well, no, you're supposed to ask for consent all the way through. I mean, you can change your mind, but obviously it's really, really bad timing and in poor taste. The decision should have been made way before you got to that point. But at least, yeah.
All right. Is today trash day? Something. Wow, you're focused. Really focused.
I'm thinking.
Adderall much?
Yeah.
Ritalin?
I mean, if you're going through I'm not saying that your mind might not wander for a moment, but to actually say out loud, is today true? I mean, that is.
I will admit to thinking shit like that, but I've never said it.
That is absolutely libido killing.
Yes.
Oh my God! Is it? I mean, is it true? I mean,
okay, cheese ball. I'm a tiger. Grr. Okay, I just threw up in my mouth.
Oh my God!
Shit, you made me miss insert television show here. Why don't you get your nipples pierced like insert X's name here?
Oh, that is.
Why aren't you screaming yet? But I think my favorite. Do that again. My wife doesn't do that.
Oh my God. Especially if that's the first time
you've known about the wife.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then again, there's all because I was looking at it, and I missed the part where it's women reveal the worst thing said during sex. So, I mean, obviously, I'm sure that hopefully there's other things that would be said the other way around. But if all the blood's down in the penis, it's certainly not in the brain.
No.
I mean, just to jump all over a stereotype right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So. There's been this sort of back and forth between Vice President Pence and Adam Rippon, basically the athlete is objecting to the lack of support from the vice president for the LGBTQ community, and he's kind of using his platform right now to talk about it. Whatever.
Is he a skier, skater?
I believe so.
Okay.
Well, his the other openly gay guy is a skier. That's Gus Kenworthy. Adam's a skater, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they're just kind of calling attention to the community and respect for it and all of that. He did send a hashtag out, eat your heart out, Pence, but he did say that there might be a possibility to have an open conversation when they get back. But right now, and you know what, don't go have fun, enjoy the games, be the athlete, commune with your fellow team members. Don't let this color your event.
It's frustrating. I wasn't paying too much attention, but I just thought it was absolutely fascinating that the guy that walked out for people that were, because people were protesting systemic racism and called it a mass respect, and you shouldn't, disrespect, and you shouldn't do that during a sporting event, sat on his ass while the Koreans walked into the stadium. And I'm like, so it's okay for other people to use sports as a protest, but not you.
Yeah,
the hypocrisy party, it was well on display, and I'm just like, oh. But I don't think that But that was the one thing that totally blew my mind. I'm like, at least I'm still capable of being appalled.
Yeah.
Going through there. But I can see that. And it's really fun to see folks like Chloe Kim win a gold and a whole bunch of other folks, daughter of immigrant, anchor baby.
Well, no, not really. They were legal immigrants. I don't think she was an anchor baby. I think they just immigrated here.
But they may or may not have been citizens by the time they had her, though. Stuff like that.
But if they're here legally, that term is only used when people have come in here and done it on purpose as a way.
There is the tourism for sending folks flying over here and giving birth.
Yeah. So no, I mean even if they were just here on visas, then she would be considered a fully legitimate citizen. So she's. But I love the fact that she's so. She's such an American teenager.
Oh, and the fact that her grandma was in the audience. I did see that. I did read.
Someone brought it up. Insane. Cute. So cute.
17. Oh my God. Well, I was 7. I'm like, I keep thinking about what I was doing when I was 17.
I was an idiot.
My daughter's 17. Now she's doing great things.
Is she really?
Oh, yeah. God. Yeah. Just we're looking at colleges and doing all that sort of stuff and studying. She's studying for the ACT and she's honestly a hell of a lot more involved in things than I ever was when I was 17. The world was so much smaller, even 30 or 35 years different. 35 years ago.
Yeah. I
mean, it blows my mind.
Yep. I mean, it's hard to imagine, like, we did not know what the internet did not exist.
No. I mean, I have to admit, I will fully admit that I'm fairly addicted to my phone. I mean, so I'm watching one of those TV shows, right? Mm-hmm. And it's set in Australia, and I'm like, well, is this a real town? So I look it up, and I read the whole wiki page and a bunch of other stuff about this town, and then they show up something, and I Google that because it's context. I mean, I can watch a show here, and like if you're watching a TV show here, like This Is Us, they make a reference to something, you know what it is. Yeah. But if they make a cultural reference to something in Australia, I don't know what it is. So I look stuff up.
Yeah,
and I do that all the time.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I'm constantly. There isn't a conversation. I mean, that I'm not rarely like. Well, let's look that up. I mean, you don't. It's fascinating.
I study more. I mean, like I told you, I watched The Crown on Netflix, and I can't tell you how much history I looked up because of the portrayals in that show about Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, I looked stuff up during that too. One of the reasons I had to stop reading Mark Twain autobiography is I couldn't keep. I mean, it was too dense. I mean, I just couldn't. There was so many references. Even though there was stuff in the back, stuff in the front, I'm still looking it up. I'm going through there. I mean, he was writing about. Well, the person he was writing about would have been like the Paris Hilton of the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But I had to look that person up because it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. But it's constantly looking But I spent a lot of time looking things up and then trying to find, like you bring something up. There's like 5 zillion sources. So you got to go, okay, which one? Well, I'm not going to that one, not going to that, trying to find the right one. And, oh my God. And then you go down the freaking rabbit hole of like, hey, well, that's interesting.
And then it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
I've been there. I know. No, but I love the ability to do that. And I think about, God, what a better student I could have been had I had the internet. Holy crap. Remember, we had to go like fucking look for books.
Oh, the library. Oh, I walked around the U of M stacks with a light bulb because where I needed it, one of the books hadn't been checked out since like 1920 that I was looking at. It was covered in so much dust. Now I know that they've remodeled the libraries, they've got them in climate control, but back then they didn't. And there was almost no light. So I had to grab a ladder. It was sort of wintry time, so I had gloves. Reach up, take a light bulb out that was functioning, and bring it to the area that I needed to be, so I could see to find shit as I'm going through the stacks.
Today you could just use the flashlight on your phone.
Yeah,
just kidding.
But that stuff. But I was going through there, and I really I hadn't. There was still there was a barcode on it, but it still had a little card in it.
Oh, sure.
And the last date, they said like 1924, and I'm telling you, the dust on that section that I was digging through, but I was fast. But I know I had to get a light bulb and wander through the stacks.
Speaking of that, we've got a, oh my God, I'm about to do some pretty significant remodeling at my house, and I need to replace my fuse box, and we've been having trouble, and Carl had a meltdown. There's no batteries in the fucking flashlight. And he just has a complete meltdown. And I just very calmly walked over with my phone flashlight. And I'm like, do we need the flashlights? Like, really? And he's just like, okay, to go downstairs. But it's like, you don't even need a flashlight anymore.
We had electrical boxes replaced here.
Oh, you did?
And, but at one point we searched around and I found like 2 flashlights, both with corroded batteries. Now, yes, we all have our phones, but they suck up the stuff, and we needed it for longer than just a moment.
Oh, sure.
So I had to send Tara down to the store to pick up some flashlights because it's been so long since we've used them.
Sure.
They were just totally corroded messes.
For sure.
But, that was a day. We had I knew the power was going to be out in the back of the Bennett building where the tenant was, but it didn't know it was going to be out again in the front because sub panels and all that sort of stuff. So everyone was here, and so I had all the shades up on the east side of the building, and we moved it, and we were all pricing stuff by sunlight because the pricing guns don't take power, but nothing else had power. Yep. So that's all we could do. I did a little cleaning because you could do that without power. It was just God,
to function like that.
And then you get to play. What does this circuit do?
Oh, that's fun.
Because the boxes haven't been marked since this building was done in 1969. So Sarah and I are running around with, I have a light thing, plugging into things, going, hey, the lights are on. Does this outlet work? Does this outlet work? Which direction this is going? It was, this is on. Yay. Okay, half of this room and half of the other room are connected. And so I'm trying to figure out how to mark these things.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny, but yeah.
Electricity's fun. I've got switches that make no sense at my house.
Oh yeah.
And if you flip the wrong switch and it turns off the cable box and your TV has to reload, it's like modern day problems. Speaking of lights, you didn't see the opening ceremonies?
No.
Okay. Well, everybody's like, what's the giant robot fire penis? So basically, they brought the torch in and lowered the flame to an icicle mound. And then a rod-shaped steel thing came from underground and flames shot up. And so one of the Twitter comments was, why did South Korea choose to light the Olympic torch with some sort of flaming robot penis?
I did see that because my guy missed it. He liked watching it, and then we were looking up. So we actually went down once again rabbit hole of like watching the 1992 Spanish Archer light it, looking that up and doing and different things. But I just looked at it and I said, sort of like the geode vagina cake here in the Twin Cities, never underestimate the ability of the general populace to see body parts in anything. Right. I mean, honestly, I looked at it and I went, well, it's like a ladder. But other people saw it as an erection. And I'm like, honestly, and do you know what it looked like to me when I finally saw pictures? Do you ever watch the movie The Incredibles? And nope. the bad guy has an evil machine. It's a big ball and then big arms come out of it. that's what the big ball with the light. That's what it looked like to me. I was much more focused on the actual cauldron that looked like the evil minion, the evil guy's machine in The Incredibles, and I did the lighting
giant
of it.
Phallic robot penis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I go there and it's entertaining.
Yeah, I read things and see things in a sexual way more than, but that one, when I was looking at it, I went,
didn't work for you.
I don't know. Maybe because I sort of knew what was, if I wasn't if I was watching those ceremony and then I saw it,
yeah,
but I knew a little bit about before I looked at it, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
but I'm like, no, it looked more like a ladder to me.
I think people just like to go he naughty. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's, okay, so this is an interesting story. So on one hand, there's this pizza place that has a gangbang burger, okay? And it's 4 chicken burgers that have cheese, onions, mushrooms, and an egg. So it's a big, giant thing. They call it the gangbang burger. A mother is demanding that they take it off the menu, saying it objectifies women. And I'm sitting here going, okay, get over it. Either don't eat at this place or don't order it. But
it is a really tacky name for food, because honestly, it sort of brings up an appetite. I mean,
right.
It doesn't sound very appetizing to me.
Yeah. Well, if you look it up in the dictionary, if you look up gangbang, it is an instance of sexual intercourse between one woman and several men, one after another, especially against her will. So I can see her going, ew. And she said, now the same woman that's protesting this saying, there's no positive image from that word. Now, if it was called the threesome burger, that's funny. But, okay, here's the other thing.
Yeah, if it had like 3 patties, the menage a trois burger.
Right. Okay, but here's the thing. The location of this pizza place is along a bar row. And she's saying, all these guys go out, and I believe that it sends a subtle message when they're drunk. But does a burger make you want to gangbang? I don't know. But it's just...
It is just the idea that it's a completely unappetizing concept for a name for food. I think she does have a point, but I don't that it's in poor taste and it's sort of gross. But she doesn't have to. But she just doesn't have to go there.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Well, any other Valentine's thoughts?
Valentine's on a Wednesday is interesting.
Why?
Well, if it's on the weekend, people plan all their weekends around it, and they go away for the weekend and stuff like that. On a Wednesday, everyone's got to get up and go to work the next day. It's in the middle of the week. It's hard to plan on it, and so. But what I love is that the stores are stocked. We've got great stuff, and I'm realizing that it's going to be sort of a all week long thing. Stores and stuff like that. But it's always sort of fun because the last minute shoppers will be in today and last night, and then I realize that it's going to go on all this week. And it just, what my favorite thing though is when couples come in and shop together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's sort of sweet because they like, well, let's try this, or we'll do this, or or if I get this to wear, will you get this to wear? And, it's just it can be frantic for some, and some people freak out over the over commercialization. But you know what? I have been busy with the flu. I've been busy with work. I've been busy parenting. So if I can take a little bit of time, even though it's being bopped over my head, to show a little appreciation to my guy, I'm going to do that. And if you need that nudge, that's fine. And because it's been an exhausting couple of weeks. So I'm going to take, and I hope other people do, or they think about it. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day, but it is Hump Day. Wednesday, what a nice day to just in the middle of all the chaos of the week to tell the person that you love them.
Well, and that's all I'm going to be able to do because my guy has a colonoscopy tomorrow. So he's drinking all that crap.
You chose really poorly on this.
He didn't choose.
No. Hopefully it's early in the morning. Is it early in the morning?
No, it's tomorrow afternoon.
Then you got an all damn day where you can't eat. You got to have the first appointment in the morning.
I know. He got cheesed.
Oh, and the bottle, I've done this a couple years ago because I was having issues where we found out I was lactose intolerant. And I don't have any problems with the the diet's hideous, but that's fine. But it's when you finally get to that last bit in the morning where you've got to glug like the 16 ounces of the sort of citrusy acid tasting stuff. And then before that, you had like the laxative. You're just like, oh my God, how can there possibly be anything left?
Yeah.
And then you got to go all damn, and since mine was so early in the morning, I had to get up like at 4 to that last bottle of liquid.
Yeah.
And you're just like, But then again, I was all done by like 9 and could go get food.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that he came
Are
home.
you the responsible adult tomorrow?
Yes.
Or
I have to go pick him up, and this will be the second round that I've picked him up from.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will take him to feed him massive food, I guess, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. Well, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. And we love our audience here at the Great Northern Sex Cast. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.